Good afternoon, everybody. This is Damon Bond of Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate broker in the states of Connecticut and New York. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today is August 30th, 2018. It is a Thursday. There's a heat advisory over here in Connecticut. I don't know about New York City, but certainly in Connecticut, there's a heat advisory in Fairfield County. And so some of the kids had a half day today from school or whatnot. It was their first day back in some places in the state. So anyway, that's how we're doing up here in CT. If you ever have any questions, you can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That is dbond011@gmail.com. Or you give me a call or text 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123. Welcome to Real Talk. This is where we talk about real estate things, if you will, stuff, items, whatever you want to, whatever euphemism you want to call it, a Real Talk here. I try to do it at least once a week. I was not lazy because I was working, but over the summer I cycled a little bit. I was, trying to get my work in. In any case, though, you're going to hear a little bit more frequently from me now. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk about, because I've been working with a number of buyers, a lot of buyers lately, a lot of first-time home buyers, property virgins, as we like to call them in the business. And what's interesting is, I don't know if it's from the TV shows they've been watching or reality shows or HGTV or whatever it is, but as of late, there have been there's been first-time home buyers who want to purchase bank-owned properties. There's nothing wrong with that. However, they come in there, wet behind the ears, and so to speak, and they just don't get it. So what I'm going to do today, the purpose of this, video talk here today, is to give you a step-by-step guide. If you're a first-time home buyer, if you're a first-time purchaser of property, you're new to real estate, and the property you're buying is not for you to invest; it's what you want to live in. So I'm gonna put out the table here for you. Number one. When you're purchasing if you're a first-time home buyer, you're trying to purchase a bank-owned property, it's important to have your pre-approval lined up. It's very important. Furthermore, if you plan to buy a bank-owned property, you may want to opt for what we call a 203K loan. It's called a rehab loan. There's a reason for that. All right. We'll get into that a little while later on. So you want to have your pre-approval lined up. It's important. You want to have your pre-approval lined up for any real estate transaction as a buyer if you're financing the funds through a mortgage company, of course, right? But in particular, if you are buying an REO bank-owned property, you certainly want to have your money lined up. Okay. Now the reason why you want to have your money lined up is because bank-owned properties, the banks, is their way or the highway. So if you don't have, and plus you're going to be competing against other people. That's the thing. So that nice property you saw, all right, chances are, you're not the only one. Chances are 20 other people have seen it, all right? Investors, buyers, everything alike, all right? So you want to have that lined up. Get your finances lined up. Get them lined up, get them lined up, get them lined up, get them lined up, okay? That's the first step. The second step is to know what you're getting into. What I mean by that is this. Many bank-owned properties will not allow, I shouldn't say, excuse me, let me amend that statement. Many bank-owned, you have a right to do an inspection on the property. A bank can't tell you no. However, just be aware, particularly if the house is winterized, and I already described what winterization was many videos ago. If the house is, if the property is, the utilities are off, they're not going to turn the utilities on for you. So you can do an inspection, all right, but make sure that you might not be chosen. So they're not going to turn the lights on for you. They're not going to turn on the gas. They're not going to put oil in the tank. They're not going to do any of those things. They're not going to de-winterize the place. Even if they do, you have to pay for those things to happen. So just be aware of that as well. Now, these things, and let me just kind of tie all this in, okay? Now, going back to point number one, in terms of the finances, you're going to be competing with people who have liquid assets, right? They got liquid cash, so they can go and spend money on on bank-owned property with no problem. Okay, so let's say you're pre-approved for $100,000, right? You got people with $100,000 in cash, no problem, or they're getting a hard money loan or something like that, right? Soft money loan, hard money loan, whatever money loan there is, they're getting that. Their finances are tight, and they have a lot more spending power than you do. Now, it's true that certain particularly if you're doing HUD properties and other certain Fannie Mae properties, they have to allow, they allow first owner occupants, those people who are going to purchase property, live there, to bid first, right? And usually it's anywhere between a 5 to 10 day window of opportunity, right? And they're not going to take no investors. If they don't get any bites or the bank is not sufficiently satisfied with any offers they receive, then they open it up to everybody else. And that's when the other investors come in there, right? That's why finance is important, number one. And that's why you want to do your due diligence, number two, all right? So, yeah, so in terms, know about inspections, right? Number three, okay, I guess you could say it's 2A. Or number three, know how much work you are able to put into the property, right? If you are a handy person, right, that's fine. If you have relatives and other people that they can help you with that, that's fine. All right, they can, you know, they can help you. You know, contractors, right? They can help you. Plus, don't worry, the 203K, you know, it's built into the mortgage that the property is going to have to be repaired. That's fine. But just know that even with that, there's certain little things you want to save up, you know, some of your money. So, for example, paint. You could do painting yourself. You know, like carpentry, you could do that yourself. So just know what you're getting into. It's very, very, very imperative to know that, you know. Number four, just realize that many bank-owned properties, not all, but many bank-owned properties are derelict. That's why you need a 203K or a rehab loan. They'll fix them. They're derelict. The reasons why they're derelict is not important. What I mean by derelict, I mean, to be colloquial, they're jacked up. All right, so we're gonna find a lot of them times they're gonna be disaster areas. Just be prepared. That's the reality of bank-owned property. There's a reason why. Let's say you have a property that costs $100,000 in Scarsdale, New York. Not that would ever happen, but you get what I'm saying. All right, there's a reason why that single-family house is $200,000. There's a reason for that in let's say, Greenwich, Connecticut. The reason why is because it needs a lot of work. It needs a rehab. It needs a gut renovation. So just be aware of that as well. Sometimes, you know, these property virgins aren't sure. Well, they say, Damon, I want a bank-owned property because they're cheap. I want a bank-owned property. I want a bank-owned property. Right? And, you know, I show them things in their budget and they're like mystified, you know, stumptified. They don't know what to say. They're speechless. And that's because that's just the way it is. So just understand what you're getting yourself into. Also, another thing to understand, I think point number 5, is that you're not going to lowball a bank. Yes, the bank would rather have a property sit on the market than to sell it to you for next to nothing. That's the way it is. I'm not saying it makes sense. That's the way it is. Banks don't like being real estate, you know, owners or whatnot. In that sense, residential real estate owners. But the reality is, they rather sit there than to give it away for nothing. Somebody's going to get it, you know, to the price that they want. So with that said, a lot of times people think because of bank-owned property, particularly not investors, I'm strictly with my property virgins over here. They say, okay, well, we can lowball them. Well, you can lowball them, but they're going to throw it right back at you. So the reality is with a lot of bank-owned properties, because they're already priced below market value, and yes, they need work, but the bank doesn't care. You're going to have to either put in an offer at asking price, all right, or slightly above asking price. Now, if you want to go a little bit lower, I say don't go any less than 10%. I got the 10% rule. Don't go any less than 10% if you're not going to give them an asking price. So, you know, whatever 10% is of the purchase price, going at that. Maybe you'll get a bite, and who knows, right? So these are some things that you just want to be attuned to. What else? Another aspect with property virgins they don't seem to understand is if you're buying what I'll say is, you know, for condos, you know, they have their own different set of criteria from single family houses. There are plus and cons with that. I'm going to do probably a video piece on that tomorrow about, you know, first time home buyers, you know, what's wrong with a condo, things like that. But this just give you, you know, food for thought, if you will, about, you know, purchasing bank-owned properties. So I hope you found this helpful in real talk. You can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That is DBOND011@gmail.com. You give me a call, text. I will return your calls. 203-394-8123. 203-394-8123. And this is Damon Bond, a Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate broker in the states of Connecticut and New York. please stay cool. All right, stay cool. Don't work too hard out there. It's blustery today, you know, in terms of heat, but that's okay though. I like it. That winter, this past winter, traumatized me a little bit, so I'm happy with the heat. I can survive with that. And have a pleasant afternoon. Good day.